Welcome back to the Profit Point Show, and this is a stock market segment. I have in the studio Ambrose Omodion. Ambrose, how are you?
I'm very fine.
Ambrose, investment analyst from Invest Data Limited. Thanks for coming on board.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So let us begin by reviewing the top 5 gainers for January. The whole month, January, we had Champions Brewery topping the Guinness chart, moving from 86 kobo to 3.11 kobo. That's like 261.63% gain in a month. So it started with 86 kobo and ended January 3.11 kobo. Then we had Livestock Feed gained 85%, Linkage Insurance gained 73%, Mutual Benefits gained 59%, and NCR gained 59%, all within the month of January. So, what do you have to say to this? Champions Brewery is still riding on the Anakin's news, or is there any other thing?
Exactly, you know it all. No, actually, investors should know where to be at this time, especially when you see that the month of January was positive. That means the January effect do not affect the market. Before now, a trend that in January market is always down because of people spending no money to buy school feed and other stuff. But the trend has changed in the last 3 years. That our January has been even the hottest month because a lot of activities, people are positioning for the first quarter of the year, expecting the earnings and all those stuff, and also overflow from the previous year, especially if it is positive, will always impact the month of January. You know that for last year 2020, market got about 50-point-something% for them. And overflow. And also the factors that also supported the market in previous year are still intact. For that, January they have to take that hit, and gaining a 5.32% for January is a good one. And stock that top the gainers chart, like you mentioned, the Champion Brewery. If you look at that sector, in terms of numbers, they are not attractive. They have been having a flat performance in that. Most of them are even posting red. Really, the Champion Brewery and the International Brewery are posting red. But for the price to move like this, there is something X, not the numbers. That means it's not fundamentally that move the price or fundamental factor that move, but just sentiment and liquidity. When the news came to the market that Heineken will be buying into the company around the 2.68 kobo, that news alone, put the stock up. When institutional investors enter the company, before now, Nigeria Brewery has about almost 50% to 50% of the company. Then they have to now increase their stake. Gradually, they are moving the way that it's a point that they will now buy out all these minority shareholder and become the full owner of the company. What are they doing is just to position and for the share market, their share, what called market share to be expanded and other stuff. But this not for me, it won't be sustainable. For me, if you have made money here, or you just exit and take
if you make 261%,
you exit your position because sustaining this momentum or this price is very slim because numbers to support the price. In equity investment, earnings is very important. When you have strong earnings, your price can go. But when you don't have weak earnings, it market will treat you. When you do that, you have full year results now, it will see to drop. So, but for livestock, good for investors. This company, because of the government policy and also the improved performance of the company, for the past 6 years, they did not pay dividend. But in 2019, they crossed to a positive line from a red account to a blue or a green or positive account.
Any color you choose to use for positive.
That attracted investor to that company, and it moved from just like 70 kobo. If we are talking of the month of the board, really the movement started from 70 kobo in 2020 to almost 11 kobo before adjusting now to end the month of January there because profit taking is already there. But they don't also release their full year result for unaudited full year for 2020, and the numbers are looking good. Only an investor don't want to take because coming from almost 6 years no dividend, the numbers for me do not support enough strong dividend that will support the price. The smart investor there or whoever that know what they are doing now is only taking their profit, waiting for their first quarter to come back again. Because if they maintain that momentum of producing positive results in 2021, price will still rebound again. Because one, if you make to see a company that is doing well, like I always say that if you have done well and a good result, people will treat, this guy has done well, they want to smile with you. I believe that their first quarter result will look good, but for now people are taking profit, which is expected as part of the capital market anywhere in the world. We make profit to take, unless we don't know what we are doing. And also the part of the world, we're only good in buying. We don't know what to sell.
We don't like to sell.
If you look at the insurance company there, I'll tell you that January and the previous year was the time for the insurance company. But for this month of February, I will advise.
Before you begin to pay
for the month of January, take your profit. For if you're an insurance company, I will advise that take your profit.
Accumulate profit.
Yeah, take your profit, because most of them are moved from low price about 20 kobo to almost 1 naira, 90 kobo, 80 kobo, just because of the caption in the news. And when you want to marry a lady, you want to know whether she's beautiful or she's not beautiful, whether she has made or not. No. But if you want to emerge in the company, you want to acquire the company, you want to know the content of that company. That's why I see most of these all those mobile insurance company coming up, because if I want to swallow you, I need to know your position before I swallow you. Whether you are good there, that's why I see their price going up because of the merger arrangement in that sector. For me, once that is done, there's nothing for insurance company apart from we see business for those that are really capitalized. There's a lot of potential. But for if you are investing for all these small, the Kobo one, I call them Kobo one, you have to be very careful. Take your profit now and wait to see what's going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's look at insurance sector preview. We've been previewing different sectors since January, first episode. So we want to preview insurance sector for 2021. 2020, they actually performed well. I don't know if they did that in real life, as in their real operation, or based on news of recapitalization. Their prices were fantastic, relatively. Movements in prices were okay. I mean, 20 kobo to 1 naira, that's a lot. Now, this 2021, what kind of focus do you have? Because at some point in time, the recapitalization is going to end.
Yes.
So what next after that?
Though there's a lot of potential in that sector that are not better, like you just said. For me, for the month of February, or going to, let me say for the year 2021, February will come back on that. For the month of 2021, year of 2021, the sector still remains good. We have to be very careful. Go with those that are the leaders in the sector. The potentials they have is that as they are margin, they're able to do bigger business. And if you look at the big boys in that sector, the high cap they in that sector, their numbers are not bad. All of the released so far for full year 2021, they are not bad. That means the NSAS will expect that to impact negatively on most of the insurance companies because of claiming and all those stuff. It does mean that most Nigerians have not even learned their lesson. I mean, they didn't really ensure that, because I didn't see much that reflecting on the numbers I've seen so far on the insurance company. That means the insurance are likely to do well in year 2020. But we better to be very careful in terms of investing in insurance company. Most of them, they are moving now, but there's a time that you'll be there, you'll be stopped because of what movement. That's why I need to target those that I call the big caps there or the big boys there. We will invest in them. And also, on the insurance side too, because of the potential in that sector, a lot of business, when they merge, you will see business to do, because instead of going to outside insurance like that to insure your business, like all those big companies, then if our insurance company merge, they will have enough capacity to accept. So that means that premium will be coming to them. And insurance company, they will also do investment. When they collect those premiums, they don't keep the premium in the coffer of the bank or in their office. They use that to run business. When claim comes, that they feel it. But if there is no claim, that's why my friend telling me that even in advanced country, insurance company, the one that owns big banks. But here in Nigeria, the reverse is the case. Because if insurance know they are well positioned, they have a lot of pool of funds to play around with. And for that pool of funds to help insurance, that's why you see insurance that is doing well. You see they have pension at the back. Because when they collect this money, they don't want to just go. They should need to do some investment. For me, that sector has a lot of potential. In terms of only that they need to harness their potential and manage it well. The rest of the time, this is not the first time they are doing capitalization. After that, you see some of them lagging behind. The few ones will still be leading again. I believe this time, with this capitalization, they should also be repositioned to move forward. But then we have to be very careful when we invest in insurance companies, because one, this part of the world, we don't like insurance.
We don't. You're right. We don't. Or we more like we don't trust insurance. Not like we don't like, we don't trust it. And this is a very kind of religious kind of setting. Everything is dotted back to God forbid. All right, let's now preview February. Generally, the stock markets. We still have the agriculture sectors. They're still doing well.
Yes.
The farmers, the pharmaceutical, they're still doing well. So, what do you think is going to happen? We're in February already.
Actually, the month of February, if you look at Nigeria history of stock market, February is always a dicey month and also a missed month, because most companies that release their results before now comes in March. Because before now is 90 days. But they will call them the early filers that always come in February, and they are very few. But because of the factors that drove the market in 2020 are still intact, even if there is little improvement in yield, sector of the market is the bond and all those stuff, those yields are still small because of the inflation is still high. I don't see that moving fund away from the equity market immediately as we speak now. For that will go a long way also to support the market when the earnings start hitting the market. All the earnings we are seeing now, they are unaudited accounts, and they can't declare anything from those accounts because they are unaudited, just for you to know what has happened. But it's also we give investors an insight what we should expect from this company that are going to give us earnings going through the future, especially in the month of March and February. For the early filers to form. For me, the month of February, for me, investors should not panic. Yes, the first 3 trading days of this month have been in red, and it's expected. And when people are calling me to ask questions, why market? I say, markets are rallying all the way from.
They can't rally all year now.
People are 2020 from even as low as when market was losing 18% at March. They recovered that 18% and also closed the positive about 50 point something. Even in January, the market has been 5%. And you expect the market to pay profit now? It's just because, like I said, they know where to buy, they know where to sell. If you are a trader, you know when to cash out your profit. That what we're seeing is profit taking the market for this first 3 days. I told them that at the end of today, Thursday, we'll confirm whether if which is really a sell-off. But signals of technical analysis are giving us there's already a sell-off in the market as at end of yesterday. But because of that yesterday, there was improved buying position compared to selling position. I mean, people are taking advantage of the pullback to position in those stocks that are mispriced, those are undervalued stock. If that is position for me, you don't need to panic. That's why today we really confirm whether there's a sell-off in the market. When there's a sell-off, you hold your cash. When market comes to support level, you will enter again. Everywhere in the world, you want the market to remain an uptrend. Market, it's like the graph of life. Life graph is not straight. It must come up and down. And that is where the market moves. For me, these few days, red should not panic anybody. If you know what you are in the market, rather, you should take a profit and hold cash to see where you can jump in. Really, earnings is ahead. This earnings is the most active earnings period because the momentum is high because it comes with what reward. Every other earnings season comes 4 times in a year, comes without dividend. But this full year earnings season that comes with dividend is more reacted to any other earnings season. For that, I expect that the PFA that are holding the market, they are interested in the dividend. And most of the companies that are really expected to dividend, we have seen some of people know their close period to know that dividend is on that way. For that, you have to wait to see what is happening. The pullback will give you opportunity to buy to have a good dividend yield. Because the pullback price becomes lower, the yield of those stocks will go up. You take your position. For me, this is not time to rather have your good strategy. I don't say anywhere that an investor in the market without investment objective, without buying strategy, you always be tossed up and down in the market. But they enter how they this is what I want to achieve in this market today, or this period, or this quarter, and how they entry strategy. And in this strategy, you always make money on this. But what you don't have, market move you're not moving the background. You go to left, you go to right with the market. No, you set up a good way you are going. I don't know how to dive in that way that, I want to make money in the market. That's how it works.
All right. I know we still have top 5 losers for January, but I'll come back to that if we still have time. Let's look at the unaudited full year result 2020 UACN 2019 to 2020. For 2020 rather, the increase was about 3.02%. That's marginal, but profit after tax actually went up by 146.75%. Okay, UACN had been that kind of complain that they don't jog until they're pushed. Yes. That's where I see them. Yes, they are not proactive.
Yes.
I gave that example of one of their products, Gala, that's been in existence like how many years now? More than 20, 30 years or so. No rebranding. No difference in size. It's just
different size. What's the price?
No. For a long time, they left that product to just be like that. It became moribund. Even if you were seeing it, you were not seeing it.
Yeah.
Nothing until competitors came.
Yeah, bigs and all those.
And all that. So they decided, okay, we cannot do price. Even the oil too. Until this other one came with sachets, and then it occurred to me that all these big companies that when they get to a particular point in time, they feel they don't have challengers, so they just stay there. They're just there until somebody comes and now, we can do it differently. And there's another brand of noodles that is a competitor against itself, is always rebranding itself. So you're saying that's just been that company that's just like, I feel like the dinosaur is just there.
Yeah.
So when I saw these results, I was impressed, but I'm wondering, is there any extraordinary income that actually pushed this, or is this basically due to their operations?
Actually, that number, I call that number financial engineering when I saw the numbers. Because if you look at the top line, it's not up to the standard of proper earnings. That is earnings good.
Maybe they sold something or divest or something.
When you go down to the bottom of the, to the bottom line, the real profit after tax when I saw there was a decline from about 5 billion to 3 billion. But when they disclose what we call discontinued operation, they knocking with some money under that discontinued operation that turned the
negative.
That turned the previous of 2020 to good positive compared to the previous one, 2019. When I said the number, this is pure financial engineering, which is accepted. But what happens that the next year, which is 2021, will now be watching. Are you going to do another financial engineering? Because because if you are saying that the discontinued business operation, discontinued operation for this, it won't give you this, fine, will agree. Next year, are you going to discontinue? Which are you going to discontinue? For me, the number is okay looking at it, but investors are very careful. From a negative of any pressure of 3 naira, 3 naira 10 kobo or 1 kobo to positive of 1 naira 50 kobo, it's good, but you have to be very careful. This company, I will tell you, I've been in the market for a while. I've studied UACN. They are not transparent in terms of keeping to their word. The way they tell you they're going to do this, the next day they do that thing. I think the management should come up. Even the regulators should look at such companies. There are many of them that understand that they will say A, they do B, which is not right. It makes investors to be a bit
skeptical.
Yeah, stepping backward. That if you are well regulated, and even the board is really up and doing. You know that what you see going to do, you have made it over to the public. You have done it again. The people that they want to share their, you're fine. But for me, they really have to sit up. But the numbers for me does not give you a guarantee that they want to pay a good dividend. That's true. But being a positive of 1 naira 50 kobo is a sign. But the amount they paid 10 kobo the previous year, because also they have been financial guarantee that year. But if 2020 we have seen this 1 naira 50 kobo, it might be better. They gave you another something that 20 kobo, 30 kobo. But for me, investors have to be very careful.
How did the market take this?
The day it came, market right, the next day it started because when you see the figure like this, first of all, we are attracted. But when you look at the numbers in between the lines, this thing is really. But there are some companies that when they do that, like talk like Vitafoam and even what's it called, Livestock. When you see that kind of number, you can see the top line, see the bottom line. You are not seeing any discourse.
The more you see, the less you understand.
You are not seeing any convenience or one-off thing like you just said, one extra item coming to. No, okay, this is from operation. Especially when you see like talk like Livestock, you see that their financial, costs have dropped because of their enjoying one single-digit borrowing. Tell you, when you see all those kind of results, okay, because of costs have dropped, there's improvement in the bottom line. You know that, can it be sustainable? The CBN will still give another 2 or 3 years, they can sustain it. But not that we just bring one thing from nowhere, one extra that we say, you can tell me that's why your number is good. That number cannot be sustained. For now, can just take it as just, okay, this number is good. Subsequent one will tell.
All right. FBN Holding, First Bank of Nigeria Holding PLC, unaudited 2020. Wow, gross earnings was slightly down 2020 compared to 2019 by 2.71%, and profit after tax was also slightly down, negative 0.17%. Okay, so what do you have to say to this? FBN Holding, is this the first bank releasing its unaudited?
No, this is not the first one. What about that? All those are smaller ones.
Among
the Fuga, the big one is the first one. Also, among the Fuga banks, it's only the First Bank I see that release unaudited full year. All those ones will give you their full year to know their position. For this full year from unaudited full year for First Bank, I haven't given any insight already what's likely to happen in First Bank. Despite that they sold their insurance, arm of their business, the number is a little decline from what they did in 2019. Fine for me. This number, the more you see, the more it's less. The less you are confused. But for me, it's a reflection of also the economy. Don't forget that the banking sector is the engine of an economy, and when the economy is sick, we are bound to see the reflection on the banks. And unemployment, what's it called? Non-performing loans will be affecting them, and they will make provision for such, because CBN will not allow you to do anything without making provision for non-performing loan. And in the last MPC meeting, CBN noted that most of them have moved above the regulatory first month of 5% non-performing loan to about 6%. That means that means all of them are still carrying load of non-performing loan. That tells you that they might likely not release fantastic results, but those that have good dividend paying policy will also surprise the investor of that dividend. That will also surprise their price. Well, I believe there are some of them in that sector that are smart. Even when they were locked down, we are seeing their results first quarter, they are still making little improvement. But First Bank result is flat. For me, investors should just look at it. And also, First Bank for over like 5 years, their payout has been a bit low. I don't see them changing that payout ratio now. But let's wait for the other Fuga, component of the.
Hold or sell?
Yeah, for me, the investors should just watch. Let's see what they should watch. If liquidity in the market turn again, I will see movement.
Everybody might rally. Yeah. Every stock might rally.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
That the part of that in the market is still
there. Okay. Thank you very much, Ambrose. Thanks for coming again. All right. So this brings us to the end of the Profit Point Show for today. The show returns same time next week, Thursday, 11 a.m. Same station, of course, OGTV. Thanks for watching and remain safe. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.